me from wanting to not only marry him, but, you know, start a life together. I want to have my life going before I can move in with him and put our lives together. I don't have anything to offer yet. You know, I don't have a full-time career. I don't have money to put into a house. I don't have that right now. You know, and he's just not getting it. He wants to buy me an engagement ring, and, you know, it's like, what I'm not ready, and it's frustrating. I want to finish school. I told him I will get, you know, I'm okay with getting engaged while I'm in school, but I don't want to have a wedding till I'm done. I want to get my degree, and I want to get a job. I want to have an income. I want to buy myself a new car. I don't want him to. I understand that he has money. I understand that he has more than me, and he will forever have more money than me in his eyes. But you know, I have always had my own. I've always worked. I have a car that I bought myself, you know, 8 years ago. You know, I'm used to giving, you know, taking care of myself. Yes, I live with my parents, but that's because I want to buy something like a new car. That's, you know, that is because I wanted to continue in college and go back for another degree. You know, these are the choices that I've made, and I'm not wasting thousands of dollars by going back to school to just move in with him, get married, have babies, and sit around his house. It's not fair. Sorry, I'm frustrated.
No. I think that you have a lot of legitimate issues to be frustrated about. I want to go back to the present, though, where we're at right now, and just first commend you on the fact that clearly you know what you would like, and that's really that's a strong place to start. It doesn't seem that you're confused with where you want to go. But it does sound like maybe he's not your fiance yet, he's your boyfriend.
Right.
That he has a different idea of what you should want. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. It's what he wants for me, not what I want for me.
Okay. So he's created this home, which he purchased himself, and he really wants you to be part of it. He's trying to create that home when you're telling him, I'm not ready to have that type of home life yet. But you haven't ruled it out, is that true?
I told him he found the house that he always wanted on the street that he wanted. It was the right time, it was a good price, and we discussed doing it together, and financially I can't do it. Yes, he said I could move in and he'll, you know, it's fine. I just clean, you know, I could clean up the house, I could do the laundry. The things that his mother used to do for him when he lived at home, and I don't want to do that. I have better things to do with my time than fold his underwear at 26 years old. You know, he's got to do it himself, and that's not gonna take up a bill that I should be paying. If I'm gonna move in, I will pay for a bill. I'm not gonna fold your underwear instead of paying for a bill. That's just not how. That's not how I am.
Okay. You have a very clear understanding of who you are and what you want. It sounds to me like, you can let me know if I'm wrong, that you kind of want to get yourself established and maybe have the opportunity to live somewhere else after your parents before living with him?
No, I would move in with him. There's no reason for me to go anywhere else. I mean, I do want to be with him. I love him. There's no issue in our relationship besides this. And he's not pressuring me, but the continuing that he just would like if I was there. I don't have to pay to be there. He just would like for us to be together more, even if it's just sleeping in the same bed, because we're so busy. But I'm not. If I start staying there more, I would rather just move everything in. But I'm afraid I would get too comfortable, and I would give up on school, and I would just take a step back and fall into this. Oh, I love waking up next to you. I do want to get married. Now let's plan a wedding. I'll finish school after, and that's not what I want.
Tell me a little bit about why you think you might fall into that pattern if you were to move in there now. What do you think would bring you to doing that? Because it certainly doesn't sound like you're the type of person, from what I'm hearing, that would do that.
I'm not by any means. I'm very stubborn and set in my ways. This is what I want, and this is what I'm doing. But I do want to be. Again, I love him, and I do want to be with him. But I am afraid that I will fall into that, like, I'll be on cloud nine and just the love part will take over. And I've never really been this in love with somebody where I wanted to plan a future with them, and I do, and I've just been putting that as on the back burner because right now I want my priorities to stay the way they are. I'm almost halfway there. That's how I keep reminding myself. Another year or so, and I'll be ready.
So you need to finish your independent goals, and when you get together where you're living and cohabitating with each other, that is more of a collaborative, equal investment on both of your parts, where you're not moving into his investment, his home, that this is something that's his and yours that you also were able to put in. Almost like you could live on your own if you chose to do that. That you had that financial security in your education.
Right.
And he, it seems like maybe he has created this cognitive structure or mental structure of what your life is going to be together, and he already has your spot waiting for you to kind of go into. Is that how you're feeling? Is that accurate, or?
Yeah, like he has that opening, he has that part, he has an opening for me whenever I'm ready to fill, which is he wants me to be his wife, his life partner, his life partner forever, but I'm not ready to put those shoes on. I'm not ready to do that. I want to be me. I want to be the graduate from college. I want to be the career. I want to have the career. I want to be what I want to be before I am what we are going to be. I don't feel like I have established myself 100%. I haven't met all my goals. I need to meet mine before I can sit in the spot that he's created for me to then begin meeting our goals together. It's like I'm taking on too much.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a lot to take on. Going to school, deciding where you want to go in your career, becoming a successful woman in a career, and getting married, and possibly having children if that's what you choose to do. Those are lots of major life changes. Would your goals that you want to meet for yourself, they would move with you into that other place within his home? So when you do plan to move there and you are his fiance or his wife and then possibly the mother of his children, are the goals that you worked on before that, are they coming with you? The fact that, the educated woman, the person who wants to maintain a career, are you going to bring those in with you?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah. And, again, that's going to, even though we will be living together, that will take, the career that I have will take up time for us together again. So it's, I understand that, like, he wants me there and that we don't have time, and the reason why I would be, his main reason is to spend more time together. But I will also have a job, and then if he wants to get married, it's planning. That's a second job.
Now, what about his job? I mean, he has a job, correct?
Right.
What does he do?
He is a police officer.
Okay. So he has a pretty secure job?
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. Financially secure. Mm-hmm. Does he know that you have an expectation to also have a job, and that that's what you're pursuing as well? That you'd like to, that's going to be one of your roles, that's going to be part of your identity?
He's getting it. It seems there is progress where he is understanding it, but there's still that nudge where it's like, well, if you lived here, you wouldn't have to drive home this late. If you lived here, we could make dinner together. He throws those in there, but he does understand that even when I do live there, I'm going to have to be, I might have to bring work home with me. I might have to work more. I might just have to stay late or pick up extra time. So, yeah, he understands that. Does he say to me that I wouldn't have to work so much once we get married? Yeah. He wants me to be able to maintain the house. Like he had previously said, what if I move in, I don't have to pay a bill, but I will have to maintain the house and do the laundry. He does expect that from me when I move in, when we start a family together. He always says, you don't have to work so much, you don't have to do so much, you can just, settle into a career, it doesn't have to be full-time, it can be part-time while you plan the wedding. He's very much aware of the amount of stress that it can cause you know, he sees me now with everything that's on my plate and the amount of stress, and that's why he does back off about me moving in, because moving in is yet another load on my shoulders that I just can't do.
And you would be the one doing the moving. You would be the one leaving one place where you live now to another place. And moving is one of the most stressful things that a person or a family can go through. There's a lot going on there too. I mean, you grieve where you're leaving, and you have to establish yourself and your own identity into the place that you're moving into, even though he's there. But you need to find your own nook, you know, area to make it yourself, because I'm assuming right now it's probably mostly reflecting his preferences and his idea of what his house should look like. It sounds like maybe his idea of his wife working is that maybe he's assuming that it's something that you would prefer not to do so much, and he's reassuring you that you don't have to, that you can do these other things instead, as much as he knows that you want to, but you know, you don't have to stress out so much or put all of your energy into that, because I've got it. That's there for you to do, but you don't have to overdo it, because I've got it. Is that, you mentioned his mom and what his mom did for him, so I'm wondering how that, if that is coming into play with his expectations.
Yeah, I mean, he comes from a household where he had two sisters, you know, and a mom and his dad, so he always took care of his younger sisters.
Mm-hmm.
His mom always took care of the things that she's supposed to, you know, she always has dinner waiting for him. You know, even though he did work, he would come home on his break because he worked in the town when he was living there, and she would have dinner waiting for him. You know, I won't have that. That's not, first of all, it's not me. And he knows that, you know, and he's fully aware that that's not any sort of priorities to like learn how to cook and stuff like that. That's not, right now it's not necessary. I cook for myself, I know what I like. But like his mom would always have that. His mom, he would, you know, come home and his mom would have his laundry done. And, you know, he would take care of his sisters. He would take them out to dinner or buy them great adventure passes or whatever it was that they wanted, he would take care of.
The ideal big brother.
Yeah. He would say, well, I'm going to get a new bathing suit. Does anyone want to come to the mall? And he would take his little sister and buy her one.
So he would feel good being able to take care of the other women in his
Right.
life.
He takes care of his sisters and his mom takes care of him.
Gotcha.
His dad really doesn't, I mean, his dad's retired, but he's just always around doing dad stuff. You know, he's always at the gym or washing a car or mowing the lawn, his lawn, my boyfriend's lawn, stuff like that.
So he doesn't even have to mow his lawn.
No,
No.
it's the benefit of living 2 houses away from your parents.
Wow.
His dad drives the little mower over and mows it.
So it sounds like at your boyfriend's house, there's a lot of traditional roles going on as far as his mom taking care of the men, having the dinner ready for his father, and perhaps his father expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen his father cook.
Okay, so we don't really know what would happen if he came home and your boyfriend's mother said, I thought maybe you'd like to try to make dinner tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he can grill, but I don't know what
okay.
he would do with a stove.
Well, now, that's, you know, it's hard to grow up in a house like that and not have those external environmental stimuli, not have them kind of internalized. So even though your boyfriend knows that you're a strong, independent woman, you're not going to operate under the same conditions of his mother, and he can share that with you and acknowledge it and appreciate that in you. Do you see in some of his behaviors and wants and trying to maneuver you or direct you maybe into moving in earlier and doing things sooner than you're ready? Is there part of him that would like you to fit that role?
I think so. I think he might think